How about some afternoon baseball here at the Big A? The Halos trying to snap a three-game losing streak, and this afternoon it's the finale of the three-game set against the visiting Cleveland Indians. Hi, everybody, from inside the Big A and alongside my broadcast partner, Mark Gubas. I'm Victor Rojas. So glad you could join us for Angels baseball once again here on Fox Sports West, and just give you update speed on what's going on with Mike Trout. Still not in the lineup this afternoon, dealing with the tightness in his hamstring. Got an off day tomorrow, and so we hope to see him in the lineup against the Seattle Mariners on Friday night. This afternoon, Justin Masterson is on the hill for the Cleveland Indians, and the Angels swung the bats well against him a couple of weekends ago.
Yeah, Victor, I really like their approach. They were patient. They made him bring that fastball up. When you swing at his two-seam fastball, and he throws a lot of them, when it's down in the strike zone, you're going to hit a lot of ground ball outs. If you try to pull it, a lot of weak ground balls at second base or shortstop. So they worked the count very well. He had 4 walks during the course of this game, and they went the other way. Wherever he pitched the baseball, that's the approach they had. Either it was back up the middle successfully or going the other way. But the bottom line is they brought that fastball up in the strike zone. When it is up in the strike zone, it flattens out. His slider, not quite as crisp when it's elevated. Bottom line is you have to be patient against him. Numbers in the past, very, very good. Last time out, successful. You got to try to do that again today. Bring that fastball up and square up some baseballs.
Well, Jerome Williams is on the hill for the Angels. Hopefully he can do what he was doing early on before the meltdown in the 6th inning in Cleveland. Let's try to keep this one under 14 innings. We're just about ready for baseball here at the Big A. Sit back and relax. Lineups and first pitch when we return.
so close and having so much to say, and watching you walk away and never knowing.
Boy, great shots with that Phantom Cam. We have it in play once again this afternoon. It's the finale of the three-game set here at the Big A between your Angels and the Cleveland Indians. 5 hours and 12 minutes last night to turn it right around. Both teams deciding not to take batting practice after the long game. And it's coming out here getting ready and start this one for the first pitch. Let's take a look at Terry Francona's starting nine, with Jerome and the Angels already have taken the field. Indians with the win, now 10 games over 500 at 68 and 58. They picked up a game in the standings. They're 5.5 back of the Tigers in the Central. Michael Bourne leading things off in center. Nick Swisher at first. Jason Kipnis in second. Carlos Santana behind the plate. He's the cleanup hitter. Michael Brantley in left. Jason Giambi will serve as the DH. Mike Aviles gets to start at shortstop. So no is Drupal Cabrera today. Lonnie Chisenhall at third, and Drew Stubbs, the hero for Cleveland last night, is batting ninth and playing right. Taking on Jerome Williams. When he faced the Cleveland Indians at Progressive Field, was incredibly good. Perhaps even his best start through 5 and 2.
Oh, he was outstanding. Retired 17 of the first 18 batters he faced. His fastball command, his breaking ball, his changeup. One of the best changeups I've seen from Jerome. But the one swing from Michael Bourne created doubt in his mind. That's one thing Jerome has to forget about. If he makes a bad pitch, so be it. Move forward. You still have that ability to get a ground ball double play.
Let's take a look at the defense for the Angels behind Jerome. You've got J.B. Shuck in left, Peter Borges in center, Cole Calhoun in right, Chris Nelson and Eric Ibar on the left side, Andrew Romine and Mark Trumbo on the right side of the infield, with Conger behind the dish.
And speaking of getting ground balls and potential double plays, Andrew Romine getting the start at second base, his first career start at second base. 6 of them at shortstop this season. Very, very good hands, very quick as far as turning double plays, athletic in that position.
Michael Bourne ready to lead things off, the center fielder. Hitting .266 on the year. He takes ball one. Bourne had one hit last night. It was in the 14th inning. A single, stolen base, and a run. He scored the unearned run, the third run against Joe Blanton in that 14th inning.
I like Jerome Williams around 90 to 92 range with his fastball. 93, 94 sounds better, but he has better movement at that lower 90 range.
Now over to first and under the glove of Mark Trumbo. So instead of one out and nobody on, leadoff man is on board as we take a look at our Hyundai key to the game.
Genesis today, no reply at all. The big thing for when Jerome, if he can get through this first inning, obviously love to be able to do that. Anytime the Angels score some runs when they hit in the bottom of the inning, put that 0 right away up. Do not allow them to reply back and get part of the game.
And Bourne's getting credit for a base hit.
And it's going to slow down the game right now with Bourne on base, his ability to steal a base. Jerome very good as far as holding the baseball. Quick move as that underarm type throw over the first base.
First one's in for a strike on Nick Swisher. And to start at first base once again. .243 average, 14 home runs and 41 runs batted in. 1 for 6 last night with a single. Is that quick throw? Let's go back and take a look at the Bourne ground ball.
Boy, that baseball stayed down. He thought he was in position to make it, but it looked like the ball hit between the grass and the dirt and stayed low on him.
Breaking pitch, pulled foul. And it's no balls and 2 strikes.
You wonder if he really saw that baseball all that well with the sun at this starting time. His reaction said he didn't really see that all that well until it was almost by him for Mark Trumbo. Usually he'll get in front of that thing and knock it down.
A couple of innings, you'll see the shadows creep out over the home plate area. Advantage pitcher at that point, you would think. Swisher strikes out swinging for the first down.
Good off-speed pitch. Jerome had a very good changeup going in Cleveland against this lineup.
And that was the one pitch that was very, very good and effective for him. As a matter of fact, it was very good against Nick Swisher and then kind of went away from it during that at-bat in which Swisher ended up putting the Indians on the board with a home run.
Great mechanics. His shoulders were squared up. took about 7-8 miles off that pitch as far as velocity and great location. Big thing for a pitcher, always have those shoulders squared when you're delivering the baseball.
Jason Kipnis, the second baseman, looks at a strike. Kipnis hitting .288, 15 home runs, 72 runs batted in. He went hitless last night. 0 for 6. Quick throw to first. Bourne, not a very big lead. And Bourne in this series, even the fact that he will run and has a number of stolen bases, 18 to be exact. He's been caught 9 times and hasn't quite looked comfortable.
Yeah, his leads haven't been as big as you normally would see. He doesn't seem like he's getting a good read on the pitchers. And the key is what Jerome did there, quick pitch. After holding the ball, throw over, you vary your times both to the pickoff and to the plate. That gives you a better opportunity to stop the running game. When you're running to certain patterns, good base stealers see that. The Steelers 8 for 14 against Jerome. Pretty solid for him.
That's a called strike 3. Kipnis knew us. A lot of movement on that fastball. 2 down.
Boy, this two-seam fastball got a lot of the plate, started off the plate, then ran middle. Great job as far as running that two-seamer. Although later in the game, you don't want to throw that one to Kipnis and run that much to the plate. You want to start a little bit further in, but that late movement he has certainly looks good for Jerome early on.
So 2 outs and a man at first. Carlos Santana, the batter. He homered off C.J. Wilson in the 7th to tie things up at 1 apiece. '15th of the year. 54 runs batted in.
You almost believe that Jerome's going to step off and throw over quickly.
Bourne for the leadoff single under the glove of Mark Trumbo, still at first base. Santana fouls one back. Playing Santana to pull. Nelson way off the bag at third base. That pitch misses in.
It's a good miss, though. Cut fastball just off the inside corner. You don't have to live inside with the fastball against Santana, but you have to make him aware that you will at least pitch him inside during the course of a sequence of pitches.
And again, Bourne with a very short lead at first base. 1-1 on the way. Just off the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. Mark Carlson is calling the balls and strikes today. Twelve pitches for Jerome here in the first. 9 strikes. 2 outs on. Throw over again. This one's pulled into right field. That is a fair ball. Calhoun picks it up and fires it back in. Bourne was starting to be waved in. Stopped at the last minute. Brad Mills, the third base coach, was waving Bourne in and slammed on the brakes. A double for Santana.
Got a pitch that was up and turned on it. Again, the pitches that Jerome was hit hard in Cleveland later in that game, especially in the 6th, were elevated pitches, and Santana took advantage of that, but well played. Played Calhoun getting it in that quickly to Romine, the cutoff man. Prevents Bourne from scoring. It looked like Brad Mills was going to send him home, but that was thrown in so quickly by Calhoun that he was forced to hold him, even with 2 outs.
Michael Brantley, the batter, and he looks at a breaking pitch for strike one. Left fielder hitting .278, 8 home runs and 58 runs batted in. Jerome with a couple of base runners in scoring position. Brantley 0 for 6 last night to drop his batting average. .278 as he pulls this one foul. Another off-speed pitch, 0-2.
Yeah, he's really doing a good job as far as turning over either his two-seam fastball or changeup, similar type rotation, but it's down in the zone. First inning alone here for Jerome, 3-0-2 counts. He's thrown 15 pitches, 12 strikes. He still has some work to do to get through this inning.
This one lined softly to Eric Eyeball. The inning comes to an end. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left in scoring position. We'll head to the bottom of the first, scoreless. Scoring position. Take a look at Mike Scioscia's starting 9 for this afternoon. J.B. Shuck leading things off in left. Eric Ibar is the shortstop. He'll bat second. Josh Hamilton serves as the DH. Mark Trumbo at first. Hank Conger behind the plate. Cole Calhoun at right. It's Chris Nelson at third. Andrew Romine at second base. And Peter Borges batting 9th and playing center field as they take on the 28-year-old right-hander Justin Masterson.
Fastball, good fastball, especially when it starts at the knees. 90 to 94, throws a lot of fastball, slider, very occasional changeup. Changes speed on his slider, but a very good sinking fastball. Runs that fastball inside against both lefties and righties. He's hit more batters than home runs allowed. 15 batters he's hit, 13 home runs allowed.
J.B. Shuck hitting .295 with a couple of home runs and 31 runs batted in. Homered yesterday to lead off the game. 2 for 7 last night with that home run and a single. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. A lot of movement on Justin Masterson's pitches.
And the key is when you're facing Masterson, we talked about that in the opening, you have to force that fastball about belt high to make good contact.
And that start against the Angels on the 11th, Masterson 5 runs, 4 earned, 7 hits, and 4 1/3. Down and in, 3-1.
Boy, if you're patient against him, he will eventually have to throw a fastball that's a 4-seam variety, a little bit straighter and up in the strike zone. But if you chase fastballs, it's going to be a tough game.
JB reaches for this one, bounces it to Kipnis. 2 hops, 1 out. Let's go back to the way the top of the first inning ended. A soft line drive off the bat of Michael Brantley, courtesy of Phantom Cam.
Well, you can see how the bat, this baseball is off the end of the bat. He was out in front. And the bat cracks in the hands of
Michael Brantley. Oh, that's a great view. That's good pitching by Jerome. And Brantley unable to get the good part of the bat off the end of the bat and breaks it in his hand. Flares it right out to Eric Ibar to finish off the inning. So the bottom line, if you're a pitcher, the key is avoid that barrel.
Yeah.
Off the end or the handle.
Go ahead and break the bats.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
Eric Ibar hitting .281 with 4 home runs and 42 runs batted in. There's the count evened up on him at 1 ball, 1 strike. Ground ball to short. Mike Aviles has it. 2 outs.
Designated hitter number 32, Josh Hamilton.
So 2 outs, nobody on for Josh Hamilton. And like Jerome, Justin Masterson with the movement on his pitches. If the ground balls are prevalent, that means he's doing his job.
I was going to say that doesn't bode well if you're the Angels as far as your hitters when you're seeing ground balls, weakly hit ground balls also. Well, Josh Hamilton, great numbers against Masterson, 9 for 15. That's a .600 batting average with 2 home runs.
Outside, 3 balls and no strikes.
I still believe if you're Josh Hamilton right now, if you can get a good fastball to drive, you got to have the green light and swing at it.
And that's a 4-pitch walk. Hamilton had a 1 for 5 night last night. First base run of the game for the Angels. A 2-out walk by Masterson will bring up Mark Trumbo.
Lefties hitting .245 against Masterson with 10 home runs. Righties 190 with 3 home runs.
Breaking ball outside, so 5 out of the strike zone. Trumbo hitting .243, 29 home runs, 83 runs batted in. Multi-hit game last night, 2 for 6. Snapped a string of consecutive games with a home run at 3, with 3 straight multi-hit games.
90 total home runs over the last 3 seasons for Trumbo. Angel record for a 3-year span. Troy Gloss with 118 from 2000 to 2002.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
When that home run that Trumbo hit out the other day to dead center field, we talked about it being a 2-iron. That's what Troy Gloss used to do. Hit those low line drives that just barely got over the wall, with still some carriers that got over the wall.
Just a flip over to first base, keep Hamilton honest over there. Scoreless here in the bottom of the first, just underway. Cleveland had a couple of base runners with 2 outs in scoring position, but Brantley with a little soft line drive into the top of the first. Now the 1-2. Inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, he was trying to square up this baseball. Just over that baseball before being squared up. Because again, you see him leaving that bottom hand go through on the swing.
Masterson picks up the strikeout. It ends the Angels half of the first. 1 in the books, and we are scoreless. Hall for Cleveland.
Coming up later in the game, we'll check out the big news from around the majors on our Carl's Jr. Sports Update. We got some late breaking news.
Oh, fresh off the ticker right
yes.
here.
Yes.
Does it have anything to do with Ichiro?
Maybe, maybe not. Could it be about one team that's lost a few games and all of a sudden has won quite a few again and has got himself back in contention in the division race?
I don't want to step on your toes. If I wanted to say congratulate somebody for doing something fantastic, milestone-like.
Why are you stepping on my toes?
What's that?
Why are you stepping on my toes?
Hey, am I stepping on your toes? Then I'll just move along.
Okay.
There's nothing to see here. Jason Giambi with a 2-ball, no-strike count. DH once again, hitting 180. 8 home runs and 29 runs batted in. Giambi did not play last night, but did play game 1 of this series, and he rips this one into the alley at right center field. Calhoun will play the carom off the wall. Giambi's trying to go to second. The throw is not in time. A double for Jason Giambi.
Well, we've seen him at a leg out a couple of doubles in this series. Hit him now 8 on the season. Boy, Giambi motoring. Head first slide, avoids the tag from Eric Ibar. Strong throw from Calhoun.
Night Ranger.
Oh yeah, little sister Christian.
So the leadoff man is on board. Third hit allowed by Jerome. And here's Mike Aviles. Aviles got the start at third base last night. Started shortstop today. He offered it that pitch, so it's a strike. 263 average for Aviles. 7 home runs and 33 runs batted in. Aviles went 1 for 4 last night. Breaking pitch looped out towards shallow right. Andrew Romine makes the catch. Kind of a get off me swing by Mike Aviles on the breaking ball. 1 out.
Looked like he was trying to hit the ball to the right side and ended up getting jammed on it. A real good view of Giambi showing how a veteran can slide in and be safe at second. This is a perfect technique for Jason Giambi.
No,
He goes, you know what? I like to hit home runs. I don't like doubles.
Yeah. Still haven't heard officially if it measured on the Richter scale. It's a lot of body mass hitting the ground. Lonnie Chisenhall, the third baseman. Grounds one towards short. Ibar fields it. Almost ate him up a little bit. A little skimmer stayed down.
Yeah, because he thought about making a throw to third base and trying to get Giambi. He couldn't quite get the handle of that baseball, and then went to first base to make sure he got the second out of the inning. Well, hit well by Chisenhall, and he definitely has a play on him normally, but unable to get the handle quickly, and decides that the smart way to do is get that out. Second out of the inning. You don't want to force that throw to third if you don't have a good handle on it, especially at that angle he was going to have to throw.
So here's Drew Stubbs, last night's hero for Cleveland. Takes a breaking pitch for a strike. Stubbs a 242 average in his 8th home run. It was a 2-run shot off Joe Blanton with 1 out in the 14th inning. Blanton took the loss. Now 2-14 on the year. Carrasco picked up his first win of the season. 1 ball and strike.
It's hard to believe that's his first win. We've seen him throw twice now this season. Great fastball, excellent changeup.
Free and easy. That's what you like to see and hear. Salazar as well, the starter.
Yeah, the 2 of them.
1 and 2. The Angels did make a move, by the way, with that game going 14 innings and every reliever being used. Billy Buckner, the lefty, is back up. Colin Cowgill, option down. So a fresh arm in the pen, if needed. Here's the 1-2 to Stubbs. Breaking ball in the dirt. Nice job by Conger. 2-2.
Well, that's the time as a starting pitcher. We talked about that on the pregame show where you like that challenge. Your manager knows that the bullpen has been used a lot. He's more than willing to give you a few extra pitches to be able to go deeper in the game. As a starting pitcher, that's what you want, that opportunity to be able to finish a game.
Stubbs takes a called strike, 3 on the inside corner, and a leadoff double stranded on base. Let's head to the bottom of the second with no score. Coming to the ballpark. Kind of like these afternoon starts.
Yeah, these are great ones.
Getaway day.
Opportunity for a lot of kids to come to the game.
Halos have the off day tomorrow. Much needed off day. It's a travel day, which pretty much every off day is for the Angels. But they are headed up to Seattle. Begin the 3-city odyssey that is Seattle, St. Petersburg, and Milwaukee. There's our upcoming trip.
A lot of short flights.
Yeah. Thankfully, there's an off day on Monday after the little jaunt from Seattle to St. Pete.
This right around the corner.
Yeah. And Conger shows button, pushes one up the third base line. Chisenhall fields it, throws off balance, and Swisher, did he keep the foot on the bag? No.
Well, I think Swisher thought he applied the tag before Conger got his foot on the base. Pretty close play.
Yeah. Not a bad idea by Hank if they're going to overshift on him. Chisenhall kind of took a kind of a laissez-faire approach to that.
Yeah, he thought he still had time because that was bunted hard by Conger. And transfer to throw. It looked like it was a good call. It looked like he did get his foot on the base before the tag was applied. Better angle here.
Huh.
It looked like he was safe.
I think it was completely the body language of Alfredo Griffin that sold it.
Oh, there's no question.
This is a chopper to Swisher near the bag. His only plays to first. Calhoun is retired. Conger to second base.
Tell you what, Jerry Davis was in very good position to make that call. He got himself in the proper spot to be able to see the ball, the glove, and the foot for Hank Conger hitting the base. So well done. It's all about positioning if you're a base umpire. If you're in the proper position, you have a better opportunity to be able to see the runner with the foot on the base and hear the baseball going in the glove.
Man in scoring position for the Angels. The first one is outside of Chris Nelson. .230 average with a couple of home runs, 15 runs batted in. A rough night for Chris last night.
I saw him in the batting cages today working hard with Jim Efford, the hitting coach, about this staying quiet at the plate, thinking back up the middle.
Takes a strike. 0 for 6 last night with 4 strikeouts. Halos last night 1 for 13 with men in scoring position, and that one was the bunt by Cole Calhoun outside. That was supposed to be a sacrifice, and it was such a good bunt, it ended up going for an infield base hit. The Angels 2 for 16 in this series with men in scoring position, 7 for 40 on the homestand. That's a 175 batting average. Two balls, two strikes.
Well, you're in a fastball count. You're looking out over the plate against Masterson. He runs that two-seam fastball right on your hands. Then you're dealing with the shadow effect. Masterson throwing the baseball from the sunlight and running right in on you if you're a right-handed batter. Right-handers only hitting 190 against him this season.
Breaking pitch lifted in the air to shallow right. Drew Stubbs shading his eyes is there. 2 down. Conger heads back to second base. Let's go back and revisit our AT&T Twitter poll question of the series. Most outrageous uniform. Baseball history, folks. They're all from the mid-70s. The Indians, the Astros, and the White Sox. Send us a tweet at Fox Sports West, and we'll give you the updated total. Although Bucky Dent and the short shorts running away with it.
Yeah, pretty good players wearing those unis too, from Eckersley to J.R. Richards to Bucky Dent. Great looks, all three of them.
Yeah, you got a starter, a reliever, and Bucky. And Drew swings and misses on the first one.
Well, they love him in Boston still.
Yeah, don't they though? Roll out the red carpet.
Oh, yes. An amazing comeback by the Yankees against the Red Sox. What was it, 78?
Just snuck it over the green mark.
Yes.
Romine chops this one to the left side. Aviles has it. Off balance throw. And Swisher alertly comes off the bag. They weren't going to get Romine. It goes as an infield base hit.
Yeah, why is this? If Swisher came off the base, so if Hank Conger thinks about trying to go home, he was in position to be able to square his body up and throw home and get Conger out. High chopper. Once it gets by Chisenhall, there's no way Aviles is going to throw out. Romine going down the line, got off the base, and right away looked to see where Hank Conger was. Boy, Aviles has played all three of those infield positions, third, second, and short.
Peter looks at a strike. The 1 pitch. That's up and in. And if you're Peter Borges, you're always weary of that pitch up and in.
Especially when you're trying to be able to see the baseball with the shadows in there and a guy who's hit 15 batters already this season.
Peter's looking out there and say, hey, man, if you want to hit number 16, just hit somebody else. I've had my share. Borges fouls that one at the plate, 1-2.
Yeah, he doesn't want that running in on the hand, please, at all.
Yeah. And Peter's not afraid to wear it, but I think now he's getting to the point like, I've missed enough time.
Yeah, he's been hit 6 times this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's enough. Half a dozen's plenty.
I've hit my quota. Runners at the corners. We'll check in on Romine.
Yeah, one of those tough ways to help out of your on-base percentage. Not a bad time for Romine to go here either.
And Borges chases the breaking ball. The inning comes to an end. Halos leave a couple of men on. We played 2, and we are still scoreless.
Jerome Williams. A good sinking fastball gets Nick Swisher on that little cambio changeup. The two-seam fastball running, and then another fastball on the inside part of the plate gets Drew Stubbs looking. 2 strikeouts looking, 1 swing and 3 total in the game for Jerome Williams.
Facing the top of the order, worked around a leadoff double in the second. Michael Bourne looks at strike one. Bourne had a base hit to start off the game underneath the glove of Trumbo. And Mark once again playing in at first, guarding against the bunt. Same for Nelson at third. That home plate area now fully covered by the shadows. Jerome with 3 strikeouts, 3 hits allowed. Bourne asked for time as Jerome was getting started. One ball, 2 strikes. Indians in the offseason signing Bourne and Swisher, free agent deals. Just missed in. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, a pretty good pitch. It's a good two-seam fastball starting off the plate and catching the inside corner.
Breaking ball low. Full count. Swisher on deck. This one's ripped down the right field line. That's going to go for extra bases. Bourne heading to second. He's going to think about 3. The throw comes in. Ibar. It's relay, not in time. It's a leadoff triple for Bourne, his second of the season.
Might have had a play if you hit your cutoff man at that point, but the high throw from Calhoun all the way from that corner in right field. Bourne able to get that pitch. Sinking fastball, middle part of the plate. And he's trying to pick up his third base coach, Mills. He does, and he slides in with a triple. The high throw over the cutoff man allowed him to be able to slide in and get a triple. Second of the season. In our Phantom Cam, you see Chris Nelson waiting for the baseball to get to the glove, with a foot hitting the base by Michael Bourne.
Swisher, a big rip, comes up empty. It's a 0-1 count. 3 straight innings in which Jerome was allowed a leadoff hit. Bourne in the first, Giambi in the second, and Bourne here in the third. Evens up the count. Swisher struck out of the first inning. He's 0 for 1. That one caught the corner.
Changeup, fastball, changeup so far in the sequence. That's Swisher swinging his first at bat on a changeup.
Breaking pitch down and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So you kind of have him set up now with either the fastball, that 2-seam fastball in, or that changeup down and away.
I think the changeup down and away should be effective for him if he keeps it down.
2-2. Misses out toward right field, hit deep. 2-0. Cleveland. Swisher with his 15th of the year. That ball right over the heart of the plate.
Yeah, the 2-seam fastball. That's the one danger of that pitch. When you're going inside, if it leaks out over the plate, you got a good chance of being hit hard, and Swisher certainly did that. Second home run against Jerome, second of the season. Against Jerome for Swisher, 2-seam fastball running. Similar to that one pitch he got Kipnis looking on. Well, he's able to get the barrel of that bat out early. Not a lot of vibration on that bat. He squared that one up extremely well.
So a triple and a home run to start this third inning. Cleveland leads it 2-0 as Kipnis fouls it off. 5 hits allowed by Williams. Swisher down Jefferson in the 9th inning on Monday.
See, a lot of times a hitter will be guessing after you throw a cut fastball in, and you have the reputation to be able to throw that two-seam fastball on the inside part of the plate. They're guessing. They're already open that front hip and trying to square it up, and that's what Swisher did against Jerome.
Kipnis the first down here to the third inning. 0 for 2 now.
Yeah, so often pitchers fall into that pattern. Cut fastball in off the plate, followed up by a two-seam fastball. Why, when you throw that changeup down and away, he's anticipating something in, and he was looking for that two-seamer. He'll miss that changeup by a lot if it's down and away.
Santana takes down and away. Indians catcher doubled down the right field line in the first inning. 31st of the year. Eventually stranded. That evens the count up at 1-1.
See the baseball from the sunlight into the shadows off the end of the bat for Kipnis. How little time you have on a normal day for a hitter to be able to react and hit a baseball, especially when you're dealing with sun in the shadows as far as the baseball.
One ball, 2 strikes on the Indians catcher. The pitch from Jerome. Foul off his body. Hard breaking pitch down and in.
Cut fastball. And right off the knee. The back leg.
Yeah, you don't see that too often, do you? That's some movement.
Yeah, late movement. That tells me he didn't see that ball real well. We talked about the baseball going from the sunlight into the shadows. It's the only way you can explain to be able to hit it off your back leg as far as the foul ball. The ball traveled deeper in the zone. Pretty firm off the kneecap area also. Boy, catchers. Stuff they deal with during the course of the season. Breaking balls in the dirt, trying to block them, foul tips. And then you foul one off yourself when you're swinging the bat.
One, 2. In the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. A 2-0 Indians lead. A triple by Bourne to lead off the inning. Swisher with a home run as Santana goes down swinging. 2 down. Kids, time is running out to join the Junior Angels Kids Club presented by Farrell's Ice Cream Parlor Restaurants. Members receive a Mike Trout jersey, 2 ticket vouchers, Farrell's Gifts, and more. To sign up, just go to angels.com/Junior Angels or at any Southern California Farrell's location. Two outs, nobody on. Michael Brantley at the plate. Pulls this one over to first, and that is just foul. Brantley lined out Eric Ibar in the first inning to end that first, so he's 0 for 1. Angels in the bottom of the third will have the top of their order coming up against Masterson, Shuck, Ibar, and Hamilton. 1-1. Chopper to second. Romine comes charging it. That will end the inning. But Cleveland strikes for two. Nick Swisher, 2-run shot, his 15th of the year. Cleveland's on top 2-0. Giving the Indians a 2-0 lead. Fox Sports is proud to partner with Johns Hopkins Medicine, one of this year's Fox Sports supports charities. Johns Hopkins is at the forefront of groundbreaking research into autoimmune disorders like multiple sclerosis as well as lupus. Join us in the fight against autoimmune diseases. Donate now by visiting hopkinsmedicine.org/Fox. Top of the order, J.B. Shuck, Eric Ibar, and Josh Hamilton for the Angels. Here is Justin Masterson, who has a couple of strikeouts, a walk, and 2 hits allowed. Jerome Williams has given up 5 hits and the 2 runs. No Mike Trout in the lineup today, still dealing with that tightness of his hamstring. Howie Kendrick technically eligible to come off the disabled list today, but still no word as to when he might return. There's Mike.
Yes, both of them may be back on Friday, which would be a great thing for the offense. Still no certainty quite on that one yet. Mike Scioscia wants to make sure that Mike Trout can run the bases. Wants to make sure that Howie's feeling comfortable. He knows he's swinging the bat well, but the other things as far as fielding position, the lateral movement for Howie, important with his knee.
Yeah, if you were just a judge, base it on how he swings the bat in the cages, figured he's ready to go. This is a one hopper to Aviles. Fires to first, shucks the first out here in the third.
Yeah, the baseball's jumping off the bat. There's other things you have to deal with as far as playing a baseball game. Fielding your position, that first out of the batter's box when you make contact. Making those sharp turns around the corner of the bases also.
Eric Ibar takes down and in. How difficult is it on a pitching staff in general? Even though the staff itself has had its own struggles, but knowing that, number one, you don't have your number 1 player, you don't have your number 2 player, and you don't have a guy that should have been an all-star this year in Howie Kendrick.
Yeah, it makes it difficult. What it does, the mindset of a pitcher, then you think, well, I got to be perfect, and that's not the way you want to go out there to the mound. You want to stay within your own game. You don't try to be perfect. You don't think in terms of I can't give up a hit because we don't have some of our key components in our offense. and I can't afford to make a mistake. So when you start thinking that way, that's when you inevitably do make mistakes. Just got to stay, pitch your game. Trust the guys will make the plays behind you. And if you go, we've mentioned so often, if you're in the game in the 7th and 8th and 9th inning, there's a good chance you have a perfect opportunity to be able to get a decision. Hopefully a winning decision.
Ibar draws the walk, second issued by Masterson, so he's on board. Brings up the potential tying run of Josh Hamilton, who worked to walk himself in the first on 4 pitches.
Well, Ibar's got to be going early. You mentioned a couple key components not available to your offense. Well, the speed part of the game is available still for the Angels. And Masterson, very slow to the plate. This season, Masterson's allowed 8 stolen bases in 11 attempts. Last year alone, 25 stolen bases in 32 attempts. 6'6", a long throwing motion, even though he does have a slide step. Still, baseball's not delivered as quick as you would want as a pitcher.
2 balls and 1 strike. And Ibar's taking a pretty good lead over at first base. Hasn't shown any indication that he might take off.
I mean, we know Hamilton has great numbers against Masterson, but the ability to move and have the defenders out of position should help him even more so.
A 3-1 count. It doesn't look as if Masterson wants to throw Hamilton anything good. Trumbo's on deck. Foul back, full count.
When he's looking at the lineup, he's seen one guy that has done damage against him in the past has been Hamilton. But he's not going to give in to him. He's going to force Hamilton to hit his pitch. He's not going to challenge him necessarily.
See if Ibar takes off here. He does. A 3-2 is a swing and a miss. The throw down to second is high. Hamilton chased what would have been ball 4, and it's a stolen base for Ibar. 2 down. Strikeout number 3 for Masterson. Mike Soch is going to come out and argue. Did they call Ibar out for Yep. They're saying Hamilton impeded the throw by Santana.
We'll see if he was indeed in position. Wow, I don't know if there was any contact made with Santana and Hamilton. If there's contact made, you have a chance of calling that guy out.
Yeah. We're through 3. Cleveland on top. Home run by Nick Swisher in the third inning. Difference in this game. Let's go back how the inning ended.
And again, the reason why Ibar was rolled out in interference by Hamilton because he drifted out over the plate and impeded the throw from Carlos Santana. Doesn't have to have contact made, but the throw was impeded by Hamilton over the plate. But the reason why Hamilton, in my opinion, was out over the plate because he swung at a hard slider down and in. It made him move his feet. But again, it's a umpire's decision that the throw wasn't able to be made because of Hamilton being in the way.
Goes as a caught stealing, 2-6. Giambi doubled. That opened up the second inning. He's 1 for 1. He's ahead of the count now at 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, that's one of those odd rules. Say you have a consecutive stolen base streak going and you're in there safely, and all of a sudden that's called. Then all of a sudden your streak is gone.
Hang one.
Before I got that last set, I knew it was going to be hang with him.
Go chew out your teammate in the clubhouse.
You get a great jump, you're safe by a mile, but the batter falls across the plate and it's a caught stealing. And you get to hang with him.
Yeah. Be the anti-Ricky Henderson tonight. I cannot be the greatest of all time.
Because the batter fell in front of the plate.
2-2 pitch. Giambi takes outside. Full count. 55 pitches thrown by Williams. 36 have been strikes. 4 punch outs, no walks, 5 hits allowed. 3-2. Fouled off to the left. This is the conclusion of a 6-game homestand. Angels lost 2 of 3 to Houston over the weekend. Lost the first 2 to Cleveland. Giambi pulls it foul.
That's those sweet seats over on the first base side.
Yeah.
That's where you're sitting over there, right?
No. You said you wanted to sit over there. Right in the sunshine.
Yeah. So you can track the baseball that much better.
3-2. He went around. It didn't matter. It was a strike. 1 down. I wonder if logistically we could do that. You have 1 spot, me in another.
Danger zone on both sides for us, though.
Yeah. We could rag each other.
Yeah.
Like we don't already do that.
No, never.
I could take Dino. You could take Alfredo Griffin as Avila's fouls this one off, and just make sure that they know where we're positioned, and we could
maybe able to cover some of those hard ground balls for the sweet seats.
have a field off.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe that could be an AT&T Twitter poll question of the series. Or not.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm working. 5+ weeks left in the season. Off the plate, 2 balls and a strike. Good breaking ball there. Took a lot off of that one. Still at 2-2. Avila's popped out his first time up. 0 for 1. Fouled off into the first base seats. Cleveland with 2 runs, 5 hits. They've left 3 on base. The Angels, no runs, 2 hits. Stranded 3. The Halos had runs at first and third with 2 outs in the second. Or just ended up striking out to end that inning. This is line to short. 2 outs. Another play that's not easy, especially this time of day.
It's very difficult for an infielder to read the baseball off the bat, especially with the shadows and a low line drive like that coming out of the stands. There's still a lot of daylight here. You're really quick on your reaction.
There's Lonnie Chisenhall, the third baseman, swings at the first one. 2 hopper to Trumbo, feeds Jerome, and a 1-2-3 inning. Well, into the bottom of the fourth, with Cleveland still leading it 2-0. You've been waiting for is here. Introducing Crowd Goes Wild with Regis Philbin and a cast of former athletes and journalists that will talk about things you won't hear on other sports shows. Sports Talk just got a lot more colorful. The Crowd Goes Wild weekdays at 5 p.m. Fox Sports 1.
We'll check that out tomorrow on our off day.
Mark Trumbo, Hank Conger, Cole Calhoun. Here at the bottom of the fourth against Justin Masterson. Was struck out 3, walked 2. Mark punched down at the first inning. 0 for 1. The 2 hits that Masterson has allowed. A single to Conger, a bunt base hit to lead off the second. A single by Andrew Romine. Infield knock. So the Halos have not hit one out of the infield for a hit yet.
4 ground ball outs for Masterson so far.
And the only ball out of the infield was a fly ball by Chris Nelson to right field. That one's down and in, 2-1.
Talked about his great numbers prior to that last start in Cleveland against the Angels. Still a very good 3-0 mark with a 2.59 overall against the Angels.
Back toward the middle. Avila's to his left. 1 out. Another ground ball out.
And not squared up either. A lot of the times when you have a sinking fastball like that, when you make contact with the bat, it's the bottom part of the ball is hitting the bat. It's going to be a weak ground ball.
There's Conger, 1 for 1 with that bunt base hit. Looks at a strike. Masterson came in as a 13-game winner, 13-9, 3.59 ERA. That one missed down and in. It's 1-1.
Well, you can see we just talked about that on the stand-up cam. You'll be able to see a good look as far as the ball on the bottom part of the bat, not hit well, not squared up because of that late movement from Masterson. Ends up being a ground ball to shortstop. When he's down in the strike zone, very difficult to get a lift on the baseball to hit the ball in the air. You see a lot of those ground balls where the ball is going to get the bottom part of the bat.
3 balls and a strike. Off speed and a full count. Cole Calhoun on deck. 2-0 Cleveland, courtesy of a Swisher home run in the third. Hank takes ball 4. Third walk issued by Masterson to go with the 3 strikeouts. Hey folks, one of the most affordable ways to see the Angels is with the OC Register Family Fun Pack. This pack includes 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, and 4 sodas, all of which we ate last night because we had 14 innings to do so.
And that was for $44.
$44. Did we pay $44? Fun packs are available for select games while supplies last. To purchase tickets, visit the Angel Stadium ticket office or log on at angels.com/funpack. Could have used a couple of hot dogs last night if we weren't going to get our moons over Miami. Still, can't believe we've never eaten one.
No.
It's a shame.
Long road trip.
It's on the all-day menu.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the 1-0. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Calhoun grounded out to Nick Swisher. Santana's going to go out and talk things over with Masterson. Thrown 57 pitches, 30 balls, 27 strikes.
Effectively wild.
Yeah.
It's very difficult with all that movement he has in the fastball to throw a lot of strikes. He basically throws enough early on for hitters to start swinging at those pitches. Then they're going to be out of the strike zone. Then you're going to get a lot of those weak ground balls in the infield as you chase that sinker.
Perfect example right here. 2-0 count. As a hitter, you're thinking, all right, I'm going to look for 1 pitch, 1 zone. You think it's there, and then the movement drops out of the zone. Way outside, 3-0.
And when he starts to aim his fastball, it's almost impossible for him to throw a strike. 6 times in this game, he's had a 3-ball count. And we're only here in the 4th inning with 1 out.
And that is back-to-back walks now. Might prompt a visit by Mickey Callaway. Pitching coach, sure not right on cue.
When a lot of those pitches are real close to being strikes, too, with that movement he has. I think Masterson was real happy the last couple of batters as far as his fastball in the lower part of the strike zone he thought he caught.
Chris Nelson will have an opportunity here. Try to drive in a run, if not more.
And a difficult thing for a hitter to be able to read a baseball out of the shadows. It's not that easy for a home plate umpire to do the same thing, especially one that's going to be borderline on the lower part of the strike zone where you're trying to read that and you don't see it as well either. Just hitters can't see it as well, so it's even a difficult task for a home plate umpire to be able to see that ball and recognize it's getting the lower part of the strike zone.
Nelson takes inside.
You can see he's aiming at 84, 85, 86 on his fastball. Not the usual 90, 91.
Goes with a breaking ball and it just missed, and it's 2-0.
His best fastball, 95-mile-an-hour four-seam fastball. The slowest pitch, a breaking ball, changes speed on a slider at 77.
Chopped to short. Avila's feeds Kipnis for 1. The relay is not in time. Knocked down by Swisher. Conger will stay at third base.
That's one of those things, too. On a 2-0 count, you help out Masterson by swinging at that sinking fastball. Low throw. Swisher knocks it down. Gets off the base once again. They'll prevent that baseball from going into the dugout and a run scored.
Yeah, like you just pointed out, you're almost doing him a favor. All right to take a strike there, especially with all the balls he throws, just back-to-back walks. The 2 outs runners at the corners, and Andrew Romine steps up now. Infield base hit for him the first time. 1 for 1.
That's a product of a hitter who is struggling. And Chris Nelson got himself in a good hitter's count. Got a fastball, but chased the fastball that sank out of the strike zone. If you're hot, you're swinging well, you're taking that pitch.
Count even up at a ball on a strike. Romine getting to start today at second base. First big league start.
Boy, the patience has been there for the hitters with 4 walks, but production-wise, still looking for that big key hit.
One ball, 2 strikes. A hole between third and short with a leadless. Taking a little bit toward the middle. Down and in.
8 wild pitches on the season for Masterson. He does overthrow both his slider and his 2-seam fastball, especially with that late movement he has.
Full count.
Ryan Santana wants to know exactly where that pitch was. Masterson getting a little bit frustrated with the zone for him.
Nelson will take off with a pitch as Masterson steps off. Yeah, Santana caught that, almost looked as if he was ready to head to the dugout. Three-2 lifted foul and out of play. I'll reset and do it again as Nelson heads back to first.
One thing, when Masterson gets pitches up in the strike zone, they become extremely hittable. Looking at the sequence against Romine. Boy, all over the play. A lot of them down and in. A lot of them in the strike zone.
Another 3-2. This one looped out toward left field. Brantley was playing shallow, makes the grab. The Angels leave 2 more on base. We've played 4 here at the Big A. Cleveland still leads it 2-0. At 1-800-PICK-AT&T, rethink possible. By CarMax, start the search for your next car at CarMax. CarMax, start here. And by Toyota's nationwide clearance event. Now you can save big on every Toyota car, truck, and SUV.
Top of the fifth inning. Cleveland on top 2-0, courtesy of a Nick Swisher home run. That was a two-run shot in the third after Michael Bourne led off that inning with a triple. 9-1-2 for Cleveland here in the fifth. Stubbs, Bourne, and Swisher. Drew Stubbs swings the first one. No ball and a strike. Went down looking in the second. One of 4 strikeouts for Jerome so far in this one. No balls and 2 strikes. Stubbs acquired in the offseason, 3-team deal. Cincinnati Reds. That was part of the Shin-Soo Choo trade. Down low, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Guy that in Cincinnati thought was going to be a star player, but not real good as far as on-base percentage. So they decided to bring in Choo, who does very well as far as getting on base.
Swing and a miss. Down he goes. There's out number 1. Highly touted product.
A nice little tight slider from Jerome. 6th strikeout of the game.
Back to the top of the order now, Michael Bourne. 2 for 2 with a single and a triple. It's just below the knees.
Bourne with a single and a triple in this game already.
Two balls and 1 strike. Trumbo playing with about even with the bag at first base. Nelson in on the grass. Two one. Outside. 3 balls and a strike. Cleveland 3 games under 500 out on the road this year. 30-33 with the win last night. The Angels at home this season 5 under 500. That is a walk. First of the game and not the guy you want to walk.
Well, let's take a look at our Coors Light freeze cam. Nick Swisher in Cleveland, August 11th. Fastball, middle away, drives it out, 2-run home run to left center field. This today, 2-seam fastball runs middle in, and Swisher 2-run home run, one to left center, the other to right center, both on fastballs that ran out over the plate. Who's had a difficult time timing Jerome's changeup.
Goes with a fastball there, and it's fouled back.
And he timed that one pretty well also. That freeze cam is brought to you by Frost Brew Coors Light.
Home run that Swisher hit, his 15th of the year. 1 for 2. Struck out in the first inning. Jones allowed 5 hits. 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third. .75 pitches thrown by Williams. Infield playing Swisher to pull. A little number back toward the mound is only placed to first. 2 outs.
And now, let's take a look at our Coors Light cold hard fact. This late afternoon game. Cleveland Indians' last World Series win back in 1948. the fourth longest drought in Major League history. The Cubs still rolling along there at 104 straight. White Sox went 88 before winning in 2005. Red Sox went 86 under the leadership of Terry Francona. Finally broke that string in the Phillies. 77 years. Francona ended up winning 2 world championships with the Boston Red Sox. That cold hard fact was brought to you by Frost Brew Coors Light.
But he lost his baseball smarts.
Yeah. Boy, I talked to him in Cleveland. He had zero fun that last year in Boston. Well, they were all over him. The media, some players not real happy about things. Tell you what, he's done a nice job here with Cleveland. Got him in contention for the division title in the AL Central, and certainly in the wild card contention.
Yeah. 1 ball, 1 strike on Kipnis. Yeah, it was his idea to, sign Crawford and bring in Adrian Gonzalez.
Yeah.
He had to go.
And then they're no longer there.
Yeah. And that obviously ended in that meltdown in September for Boston. Kipnis fouls this one at the plate, 1-2. It set up the that magical Wednesday night. Remember how the season ended on a Wednesday night?
Well, when we had 2 monumental collapses, the Red Sox and the Atlanta Braves that same season.
But those 3 games that last.
They almost ended almost at the same time.
Yep.
Well, that was a great year for baseball as far as races up to that last out of the game.
It was Philadelphia in Atlanta, right? New York in Tampa. Wild pitch here will advance Bourne to third. And then Baltimore defeating Boston at Camden.
Yeah, Tampa was behind in the Yankees in that game 7-0. I think Evan Longoria eventually won that game with a home run.
That was a cross up
It
there.
has to be. Boy, Hank reacted for that pitch.
Man at third, 2 outs. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Kipnis, 0 for 2. Breaking pitch pulled toward second. Andrew Romine is there. He does a nice job.
He's got great range at second base.
We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. Still 2-0 Cleveland. Or retransmitted in any form. Any accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. 9-1-2 for the Angels here in the 5th inning. Borges, Shuck, and Ibar.
We just feel that Borges is going to try to bunt here. Utilize that speed. It helps you in a couple different ways. We see Jerome and Hank Conger. There was a discussion in the dugout right after they both came off the field how Hank was crossed up on that one pitch. It went off his glove from Jerome. So the communication right away back and get on the same page.
Drops the bunt on the third base side. A little close to the mound, though. Barehanded by Masterson. 1 out. Borges 0 for 2.
Right idea, just not the right location. That should get off the mound very quickly. What it does as a hitter, especially for Borges who's trying to get back on track, is you can see the ball, you're tracking location of the baseball, and then your next at bat, you'll be able to look in that same plane and make better contact.
JB is 0 for 2 with a couple of ground outs. 1 to second, 1 to short. 0-1. He chases the pitch on an 0-2 count. Round number 2, 4th strikeout of the game for Masterson.
Well, it's been a while since the Angels have scored a run against Cleveland pitching. We'd be shocked with that leadoff home run yesterday. Since that point, nothing.
18 innings worth almost. Not for lack of effort, that's for sure, because the Angels certainly had plenty of base runners last night's game. 17 men left on base.
That's a pretty good approaches for the most part today, too, with 4 walks.
Masterson certainly has dialed it back in here in the 5th inning.
C.J. Wilson threw the ball very well, trying to make that 1 run hold up. It did so up till the 7th inning when Carlos Santana hit a home run. Been dealing last 13 starts, 9-1 with a 2.63 ERA.
Ibar fouls it off the left. Count remains at 1-2. And CJ talking about it in the postgame show about the Santana home run, trying to get a cut fastball down and in, and it just did not cut. It just kind of stayed out over the plate. Santana hitting from the right side, hit the home run.
So that's one thing that it seemed odd when CJ talked about it. A lot of times when you say down and in, it's usually a slider down and in. Cut fastball, the theory behind that is you try to run on the same plane and run it in on the handle of the bat and jam a hitter.
Breaking pitch, got him looking. Masterson with a 1-2-3 inning. We've played 5 here at the Big A. 2-0 Cleveland.
run, second home run of the series. Jerome Williams has been solid. 6 punch-outs so far. And the Angels, no runs in their last 18 innings. Cleveland pitching's been very, very good of late, although they've had some runners against them. The production hasn't been there for the Angels in the last 18 innings.
Jerome to face 4, 5, and 6 for Cleveland here in the 6th inning. Santana, Bradley, and Giambi. Santana, the catcher, 1 for 2, double in the first. Shows bunt, offers at it. That's an 0-1 count. Overshift is on, so Santana trying to do exactly what Conger did. Nelson, the third baseman, at the shortstop position. Now Chris comes in and moves slightly towards third. One ball, one strike. Let's go back and revisit our Hyundai key to the game.
Well, we talked about no reply at all. It was so important for Jerome if the Angels had scored a run to put a 0 right away, but it hasn't been the case. But he's been solid himself, only allowing those 2 runs on a 2-run home run by Nick Swisher in the third. So Jerome has done his job at this point.
This one out toward left field. Maybe Shuck moving to his left. 1 out.
Left fielder, number 23, Michael Bradley.
That'll bring up Michael Bradley, the left fielder. Oh for 2 so far. A line out to short and a ground ball to second. Some of the scores around baseball. Oakland lost to Seattle once again, 5-3. They lost Norris, their catcher, broken toe.
They have been struggling, but especially against Seattle. Beginning part of the year, they were very effective against it, but not lately.
Bradley bounces this one to second. 2 outs.
And speaking of our Carl's Jr. sports update around the majors in those A's, matinee by the Bay. Seattle wins again against Oakland. That's a 7th win in the last 10 games versus the Oakland A's. The Rays ride a roller coaster. They've been up and down. They had a 6-game losing streak, got hot once again, and now at the top, or tied at the top, the Boston Red Sox.
Jason Giambi up. Takes ball 1. Toronto, the Yankees tied at 2. That game's the bottom of the 5th. Congratulations to Ichiro Suzuki.
4,000th career hit.
Combined, of course, between here and Japan. Nice milestone.
Yes.
Hall of Famer to be.
No question. A 10-time Gold Glover also.
Giambi grounds this one into the overshift. That's Eric Ibar. Jerome with a 1-2-3 6th inning. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Still 2-0 Cleveland. homered to right field in the third inning. Difference in this game. Masterson settled down in the fifth inning, a 1-2-3 fifth, including a couple of strikeouts. He has 5 punch-outs in the game, but he has 4 walks as well. And here the sixth inning.
When that last inning, all 3 batters first pitch strike for him. Had been struggling with that in that category early on. 17 batters faces 8 first pitch strikes, but back on a groove now.
Masterson to face Hamilton, Trumbo, and Conger in the Angels' half of the sixth. Josh takes a strike. He struck out of the third, walked in the first. 0 for 1 game thus far. Two balls, 1 strike. 82 pitches by Justin Masterson and split right down the middle. 41 balls, 41 strikes. 3-1.
Tell you what, a lot of fastballs from Masterson today. It was about 70 to 72% of his pitcher fastball. That seems to be a higher number today.
Off the end of the bat and perfectly placed out in shallow left field for a lead-off base hit. Second time today that leadoff man is reached. We go back to look at our AT&T Twitter poll question of the series. Most outrageous baseball history, easily the White Sox with the shorts and the collared shirts.
Boy, a runaway.
Yep. That was an 80s hit.
Yeah. Bon Jovi. Early Bon Jovi.
Before they were cool?
Nah, they were still cool then. I thought about that as the key today. Believe me, I thought about a runaway early, get a run, let Jerome be able to relax. Especially after all those zeros put up by Cleveland pitching last night.
Oh, 1 to Trumbo. This is line to left field. Brandley back a couple of steps, makes the catch, 1 out.
Let's take a look at our Phantom Cam. That base hit by Hamilton, trying to get that baseball out in front and off the end of the bat. The way the bat flexes when you don't square up a baseball.
Look at that. All the way
vibration,
down.
yes.
Isn't that cool?
And the hitters love this view, because I've had talked to a number of the Angel hitters, and they've seen the replays of our Phantom Cam. And they're amazed at how much the bat does do that.
Conger rips this one into the right field corner. That'll bring in a run. Conger in at second with an RBI double. It's 2-1 Cleveland.
And I'm guessing if we show a Phantom Cam, if we have a view of that hit, not a lot of vibrations. That baseball was squared up and a rocket right down the right field line for double, 11th double season for Hank Conger. Boy, he squared that one up. Good job as far as getting his hands in and then threw the baseball right down the line. 17th RBI. And Hank Conger's had a good game himself. 2 for 2 with a walk.
Puts himself in a scoring position, representing the tying run. Halos breaking through here in the sixth inning. Here's Cole Calhoun. Looks at a strike. Cole bounced out to first and walked. 0 for 1. Oh, 2. That run coming across for the Angels, snapping a string of 19 in the third innings. Scoreless baseball. Breaking pitch down the left field line, but slicing out of play. Count remains at 0-2. Cole had been struggling Even deep into the game last night. Picked up 3 hits late. Snapped an over for him. This one out to left field. Brantley moving over. Makes the catch. 2 outs.
Hit well by Calhoun. Tracked down by Brantley, who continues that errorless streak. A record for a Cleveland outfielder. Wait, 9 straight batters, first pitch strike for Masterson. For starting out the 7 of his first 16 batters faced.
Tap foul at the plate. 1-2.
Well, the success that Nelson had against Masterson in Cleveland was ground balls back up the middle. He's pulling off on these pitches now. Did so the last at bat on his 2-0 count. Ground ball, right to shortstop. He's got to have that approach of thinking up the middle.
And he chases the breaking ball. The inning comes to an end. The Angels do get a run, however. Conger with the double. We played 6. Cleveland still on top 2-1.
Big at a participating Jack in the Box today. And by Chase. Send money to almost anyone, anywhere with your smartphone. Chase, quick pay, so you can. Top of the 7th, Jerome back to work. Halos down 2-1 now. Jerome coming off a 1-2-3 6th inning. He'll face the bottom third of the order here. Navilas, Chisenhall, and Stubbs. 6 innings and 90 pitches. 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned. 6 punch outs, 1 walk, and that was DeBourne in the 5th. 0-1. Avila is getting to start at shortstop today. 0 for 2. He's popped out to second, and he's lined out to short. This is a little looper. Andrew Romine can't get it and falls in for a base hit. So Cleveland with their leadoff man reaching here in the 7th.
Third baseman, number 8, Lonnie Chisenhall.
wonder now if Terry Francona doesn't play a little hit and run.
Chisenhall is 0 for 2 with a couple of ground outs, one to short and one to first. One ball, no strikes. Angels start to get some action in their bullpen. Base hit by Aviles, the 6th by Cleveland today.
Not a real big lead by Aviles yet against Jerome. Nice changeup and a fastball count from Williams. That's the pitch that Chisenhall hit out against Weaver in that first game, but it was a changeup that was up.
No. Buddy Boshears, lefty, getting ready. Did not pitch last night. This one's hooked down the first base line and out of play. 1-2. Boshears pitched an inning on Monday. First man up today.
Don't think you'll see Michael Kahn or Kevin Jepson available in this game. A lot of appearances and innings out of the bullpen of late.
Chisenhall lifts one out to right. Cold got a good read right off the bat there, makes the catch. With the first out of the inning. Hey fans, make sure to enter win the all-new 2014 Chevy Silverado at Diamond Field. Box Angels tickets with the Summer of Silverado giveaway. For more info and to enter, just go online at angels.com/Chevy. One out, one on. Drew Stubbs, the batter. Stubbs 0 for 2 with a couple of punch outs. 6 on the afternoon for Jerome. .97 pitches now. Jerome just 3 times this year has touched the century mark as far as pitches thrown. Last time July 26th, that was against Oakland. That was in 5 innings. The other 2 times back in May. Evens up the count. Aviles with a leadoff single stands at first. 2-1 Cleveland.
Boy, pretty good cut fastball. Didn't miss by a lot.
Missed in. 3-1 now.
It's going to be important to be able to get Stubbs out if you're Jerome. You want to stay in this game, especially with Bourne coming up next. Left-handed batter. Buddy Boucheur's got to be ready down in the bullpen now. 100 pitches thrown, 65 strikes for Jerome Williams.
Ground ball foul at the third base side. And a full count.
Gonna strike him out, throw him out to finish off the inning for Jerome.
So you're saying he's going?
Yes.
Vilas takes off. The pitch is way outside. It gets by Conger. It's ball 4. Second walk issued by Jerome. As Michael Bourne come to the plate, Mike Scioscia will be making his way out. That's going to be it for Williams. Gives a sign. Jerome ends up going 6 1/3. He will depart trailing it 2-1, and he will also depart with a couple of men on base. Leadoff single, flare base hit by Vilas, and now the 1-out walk. We have ourselves a pitching change here at the Big A. Cleveland leading it 2-1. Buddy Boucheur's has been summoned from the bullpen, but they are doing some work to the mound.
Well, Jerome was very, very good today. Really only one mistake. That was a fastball, that two-seam fastball that ran out over the plate against Nick Swisher. And a 2-run home run against him. Other than that, very solid. 6 punch-outs. 6 1/3, giving that length for Mike Scioscia as a starter into the 7th inning with 1 out.
Worked around some issues early on before giving up that home run and settled in nicely. Leadoff man was an issue early on, but like I said, worked his way out of it except for that 3rd inning. That's the only difference for Jerome as far as that inning versus the other ones.
8 ground ball outs. Good sign for Jerome today.
I mean, in this inning, the Avila's base hit is what it is. It's just a little flare. Pretty good pitch. And then the walk to Stubbs. There's Buddy Boucheur's. Pitched on Monday, 1 inning. So in and out, who's in, who is out. He'll be facing Michael Bourne. Nick Swisher is on deck. Bourne in 3rd innings, 2 earned runs in 7 career games. Made his debut in the big leagues against Cleveland a couple of weekends ago. And the sports and highlights show you've been waiting for is here. Fox Sports Live as Jay Onright and Dan O'Toole are joined by Donovan McNabb, Gary Payton, Andy Roddick, and Carissa Thompson to bring you everything you need to know about the world of sports. Fox Sports Live airs nightly on Fox Sports 1. So Bashir's ready to go. Aviles at second, it's Stubbs at first. Bourne 2 for 2 with a single, a triple, and a walk.
Bourne with good numbers against left-handed pitching, 291 batting average.
Takes a breaking ball for a strike. Thought about pulling the trigger, and he did go around. Brian Knight, the third base umpire, ringing it up. 0-2. Goes for the breaking ball. Nice stop by Conger, keeping that ball in front of him. One, two. Swing and a miss. Down goes Bourne. 2 down.
Solid breaking ball. Like Buddy Boshiers get the swing and miss. Let's take a look at our AT&T Universe Rewind. Difference in the game. Swing by Nick Swisher. And Michael Bourne on base, third base after a leadoff triple. Swisher gets a two-seam fastball and hits it out to right center field, his second home run of the season against Jerome Williams, giving, at that point, the Indians a 2-0 lead, now 2-1.
So Nick Swisher will bat, and he will spin around to hit from the right side now. 1 for 3 game with that home run as the slow breaking pitch is upstairs. Two and 0 now. Swisher a better hitter from the right side. 279 average this season compared to 225 from the left. Two 0. Just off the plate. 3 balls and no strikes. Aviles with decent speed at second base. Stubbs a burner at first. Boshiers trying to keep it a 2-1 deficit here in the 7th. And he walked him. So they're loaded up now for Kipnis. Kipnis, the second baseman, twice has grounded a Romine at second. He's also struck out, so 0 for 3 games so far. 0 for 13 in the series.
Kipnis, another lefty in this lineup for Cleveland with good numbers against left-handed pitching. 297 hitter this season against lefties.
Takes a breaking pitch. It's a called strike.
You know, Boshiers is going away with a lot of pitches. You got to be ready to make a play if you're JB Shuck in left field.
Cal even up now at 1-1. Halos in the bottom of the 7th inning. Have Romine, Borges, and Shuck due up. Foul at the plate. So ahead of the count now at 1-2. One thing has been evident as far as Boshiers is concerned. Doesn't seem to be rattled. The guy A taste of big league life for the first time.
He's got a good feel for his breaking ball. More likely you'll see a breaking ball here.
The 1-2 outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's a pitch you want to get him on. I want to get to 3-2. Got a switch hitter in Santana on deck. Ground ball right back to the mound. It goes off his glove. Romine picks it up, fires to first. Got him! What a play by Andrew Romine to stick with it. It's the 3rd out of the inning, and it prevents a run.
Romine has been fantastic defensively in this game. This is a tough play when you're reacting as a second baseman. You're going one way, have to reverse your direction, and still a strong throw to get Kipnis.
Cleveland's on top. And here the bottom of the 7th, it'll be Romine, Borges, and Shuck. Always works out that way, right? You make a nice play, and you come right back up. And
that was a very difficult play to make, too. If you're Romine, you're initially going up the middle thinking that ball is going to get by Boshears, but then you have to reverse direction, not only field that ball, but throw out Kipnis, who runs well.
It keeps it a 2-1 game. Andrew 1 for 2, base hit, infield variety in the 2nd. 6 strikeouts, 4 walks for Justin Masterson. 4 hits allowed. Slice into the seats. Evens up the count. Romine at AAA this year, 287 average, 16 doubles, 4 home runs. Takes outside. It is 3-1.
Well, now you're looking right at one spot to be able to hit this fastball. If not, take the pitch. You need to be on base.
Leadoff walk. Rich Hill getting ready. Lefty.
Master now with 100 pitches thrown, only 53 in the strike zone. Or just more than likely would be asked to bunt here.
Want to know. Peter tried to bunt his way on in the 5th inning and was thrown out by Masterson. 0 for 2 in this one. 0 for 21. Throw to first, diving back in is Andrews. Hit and run is on. It's a swing and a miss. The throw down to second is not a time. Nope. So they call it a foul ball.
That ball might have hit the dirt.
Foul ball.
Yeah, Santana didn't quite get that before it hit the dirt.
Yep.
Very difficult pitch to have any success on a hit and run. Hard sinker, almost 3-4 inches off the ground from the get-go.
Now back to bunting, pushes the bunt on the first base side. This could be trouble. Gloves it to Swisher, not in time. An infield base hit for Peter Borges. That's his first hit since coming off the DL.
Boy, well placed on that bunt. You're wondering when Borges was going to push bunt the first, but that speed he has. And Swisher went right back to the base. And Masters did everything he could to make that a close play. Well played by him. But going up the line, glove flip, but Borges too fast, beats it out. For his first hit since coming back from the DL. May see another bunt here.
J.B. Shuck is 0 for 3 with a couple of ground downs and a punch out.
If you're Andrew Romine, be aware of a potential pickoff at second base.
Outside. 2 runs, 6 hits, 7 left on for the Indians. 1 run, 5 hits. 6 left on for the Angels.
You might be at home watching the game thinking, why doesn't Terry Francona bring the lefty in to face J.B. Shuck? But Terry Francona has a lot of confidence in Masterson to get a ground ball at an infielder, potentially be a double play ball.
2-0.
Now it could end up backfiring against him if he ends up walking J.B. Shuck. But still, when you have a guy that gets a lot of ground ball outs, you have more trust in him than someone coming out of the bullpen.
Cody Allen is joined in. The right-hander. Now the 2-0. Shuck drops the bunt off the plate. This is going to be a tough play. Santana fires the first. They get him.
Well, he needed all that strong arm to throw J.B. Shuck out at first. Bunted off the plate, high off the plate. Well done by Shuck, getting the job done. Let's see how our Phantom Cam picks up this bunt. Well, look how still his head and the eyes on the baseball, trying to be able to square around and put that ball on the ground and force an infielder to field it. And the bottom of the ball on the bat and straight up in the air. Fortunately enough, it didn't come back up and hit the bat on the way back up. At that point, it would be a foul ball.
Second and third, 1 out. Infield back. 0-1 count on Eric Ibach. 0 for 2. Also picked up a walk. Ground ball down the line. That is foul. Romine started off the 7th inning with a walk. Borges with a bunt base hit. Sharks sacrificing them over. Hamilton's on deck, so more than likely last batter for Masterson with Hill ready to go. Outfield very shallow for Cleveland. Breaking pitch, tried to backdoor. Then it misses. 1-2. "109 pitches now. Nybar chases the pitch. It almost hits him in the back foot.
That's
two down.
A few hard sliders he's thrown. One time he threw that one to Hamilton to get a swing and miss early in the game.
So with 2 outs and Hamilton coming to the plate. Take a look at the replay here. Terry Francona is going to come out and make a pitching change. Rich Hill will be called upon. Trying to end this 7th inning. Masterson is done after 110 pitches. A pitching change here in the 7th. 2-1 Cleveland. Six and 2/3 innings, responsible for Romine at third and Borges at second as Terry Francona's gone to the bullpen and Rich Hill is on relief.
Hill fastball 88-92 range, slider. There are quite a few of those. Curveball, changeup. 45 strikeouts in 33 innings pitched, but does have an ERA. It's 6. 51st game.
Hill did pitch last night, just 1/3 of an inning. Hamilton with a walk, a strikeout, and a single. Looks at a strike. Kipnis out of shallow right field.
It's 178 against lefties with 5 home runs this year for Hamilton.
0-1 pitch. So going to miss on the breaking ball. Hill dropped down.
That was a hittable breaking ball. That got a lot of the plate. It was down, but it was the middle of the plate. Hamilton had a pretty good swing at it.
Oh, 2 pitch. Way outside. Nice play by Santana.
Wasn't a whole lot of commitment to throw that fastball anywhere near the strike zone from Hill. That tells you he's going to try to throw a breaking ball here now.
The 1-2. Broken bat rolling to the left side, smothered by Chisenhall, gets up, fires the first, and again another fine defensive play by the Cleveland Indians. As Chisenhall gets Hamilton. We're through 7. Indians still on top 2-1.
By 76, we're on the driver's side.
Indians on top 2-1. So we start this 8th inning. Buddy Boshears is done after 2/3 of an inning. Dane De La Rosa takes over on the mound. Dane pitching in his 58th game now, 5-1 record at 3.51 ERA. And he'll face Santana, Brantley, and Giambi here in the 8th.
And he leads the Angels in that category as far as games pitched. Fastball, excellent fastball from De La Rosa. 93 to 96. Occasionally rushed up there at 98. Good breaking ball, good split finger fastball.
Dane 2/3 of an inning last night. 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. 1 was intentional. That was in the 8th inning. Eventually struck out Gomes with the bases loaded to get out of that 8th inning. It's Carlos Santana ready to settle into the batter's box. 1 for 3 game for Santana. Double back in the 1st inning, his 31st of the year. He struck out, hit a fly ball to left in the other 2 plate appearances. Six hits for Cleveland, 5 for the Angels. Mentioned going to break, another fine defensive play by the Indians. We saw it last night with Asdrubal Cabrera in the 9th inning, robbing Eric Ibar. Force that game to go into extra frames. This one bounced to the right side. Trumbo's got it. It's a fair ball. Races to the bag, 1 out. Chisenhall smothering that ball by Hamilton. At least would have tied the game. And with Borges,
yeah, pretty much
to take the chance.
Yeah, you're going to get a chance to take the lead. And Cleveland come into the game at the lower part of the American League as far as fielding percentage, but they've made a lot of real good plays in this series.
Tigers, by the way, currently leading the Twins 2-1. That game's the bottom of the 7th at Comerica. Chopper towards short. Ibar comes in, throws off balance, and we have 2 outs.
Well, play by Ibar, had to come in, take away that last hop. If he waits back on the baseball, it's going to be a hit for Brantley, so he has to charge it, and then with the transfer quickly throw out Brantley at first base.
2 quick outs for Dane De La Rosa. Jason Giambi, the DH, now up. He doubled in the 2nd, his 8th of the year. The Angels in the bottom of the 8th inning have Trumbo, Conger, and Calhoun due up. Looks like Allen still warming up for Cleveland. This one's popped up left side of the infield. Long run in for Nelson. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th inning with the Angels trailing at 2-1. New pitcher on. Cody Allen takes over for Rich Hill.
Cody Allen fastball 93 to 97. Hard curveball. Tough time commanding his curveball last night, but his fastball was very effective. 25 pitches thrown last night. You wonder how effective that fastball will be here this evening.
Justin Masterson, by the way, went 6 2/3 today. Allowed 1 run. Now with 12 starts this year in which he's allowed 1 or 0 runs. And it's the most such starts for a Cleveland right-hander since Gaylord Perry had 14 in 1974.
Wow. 3 CGs, 3 shutouts this year for Masterson.
Trumbo's 0 for 3. A strikeout, a ground on a fly ball to left. A 1 pitch. Evens up the count at 1-1. Allen last night went an inning and a third. No runs, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, 1 walk. Off the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike. Rich Hill went 1/3 of an inning. So he got Hamilton to ground out to Chisenhall. Trumbo foul tips out, went back 2-2.
Still a good fastball, even with all those pitches thrown last night for Allen. That one at 97.
Two pitch. Foul back, protecting there.
Not easy to do when you come out of the bullpen the night before throwing that many pitches. And you add in the fact how many pitches you threw to warm up before you got in the game. And yet still very good velocity here today.
Breaking pitch gets him. 1 out. Brings up Hank Conger. He's had a nice game. Hit on board 3 times.
Nice job of squaring up his shoulders and snapping off that very good curveball. Didn't drift forward, didn't open up that front shoulder. Stayed compact.
Oh, 1. Two for 2, including a double with an RBI as that one's in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Double for Hank in the 6th inning, his 11th of the year. The RBI, his 17th. Angels left him stranded in scoring position. Halos today 1 for 9 with men in scoring position as Hank takes low. 2-1.
Good count to do some damage now if you're Hank Conger.
Three and 1. Angels in this series against Cleveland 3 for 25 men in scoring position. So even without Trout or Kendrick or Pujols, opportunities have been there. The guys have not been able to cash them in. 3-1 pitch. Hank fouls this one back. Full count. Great catch by a fan. One-handed.
Holding a baby.
Holding his baby in the left. Nice job.
Souvenir.
Make sure she doesn't throw it back. Payoff pitch. Hank strikes out swinging. Back-to-back punch outs for Allen. 2 down.
Oh, that upstairs with a fastball at 97. What challenged him? Hank Conger trying to do some damage, but cannot catch up to that fastball. That's 69 strikeouts in 55 and 2/3 innings pitched this year for Allen.
This is ripped out toward right field. Back is Stubbs. This one is off the wall. Calhoun racing to second. In there with a 2-out double. Just missing. Tying this game up.
Didn't get quite the elevation. You can't hit a baseball any harder than Calhoun did there, but didn't get quite the height to be able to get it out. Our Fanicam will show how well he did hit this baseball. Squared up, middle of the barrel of the bat. And a rocket off the wall. Just missed. The second double of the season.
Tying run in scoring position now for Chris Nelson.
Well, I thought that was out for sure.
Nelson 0 for 3, a fly to right, a fielder's choice, and a strikeout. Breaking ball in the dirt. One ball, no strikes. Angels with 1 win in this homestand. That was on Saturday against Houston. Josh Hamilton with a walk-off. Trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. 1-0 pitch. This is fouled off to the right.
Calhoun trying to get a good secondary lead. Pretty good arms in the outfield here for the Indians. 10 outfield assists for Brantley, 6 for Bourne, 6 for Stubbs.
1-1. This is foul back, 1-2. Ernesto Frieri playing catch lightly in the bullpen. Dane De La Rosa had a very quick and economical 8th inning. Santana is going to go out and talk things over with Allen. 2-out double by Cole Calhoun. He represents a tying run at second base.
Well, you wonder if he's going to try to go upstairs with a fastball. Chris has had a tough time laying off that pitch.
Here comes the 1-2. Breaking ball got him looking. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Allen. We've played 8. Still 2-1 Cleveland. Mound after having himself an easy 1-2-3 8th inning. He'll face the bottom third of the order for Cleveland here. Aviles, Chisenhall, and Stubbs, barring a pinch hitter. As Chris Perez begins to warm up in the Cleveland Indians bullpen, the Angels will have 8, 9, and 1 due up in the ninth. Aviles 1 for 3, a base hit in the 7th. Jerome Williams 6 1/3, gave him 2 runs on 6 hits, including the Swisher home run. That was in the 3rd inning, a 2-run shot. One out count on Aviles. This one's out towards shallow center field. High bar going out. Borges coming in and falls in. Big swing, little result.
That's 2 flares now for Aviles for 2 hits in a row. Little flare over Andrew Romine's head. His last at bat, now that one. Initially, Borges broke back on that little flare in the outfield.
Seventh hit of the afternoon for Cleveland. It'll bring up the third baseman, Chizen Hall. 2 ground outs and a fly ball to right. That's pretty close to being a balk. Matter of fact, I thought it was when he did it. They're saying that he stepped back off the rubber. You can do it if you step off.
Yeah, it almost looked like it was a pivot.
Yeah. But Mickey Callaway and Terry Francona were asking what the deal was. Chisenhall flares went foul. 0-1 count. Glancing down for the sign from Brad Mills. Former bench coach for Terry Francona at Boston, former manager of the Astros. One and one. Aviles on board. Leadoff single for him. Mentioned Perez getting ready to pen for Cleveland. Scott Kazmir's joined him.
Product of a lot of pitches being used in the last couple of days for Terry Francona and for Mike Scioscia.
Good lead for Aviles at first. 1-1. 1-2 on the corner. Out of town scoreboard has the Tigers now up 4-1. That game's the top of the 8th inning. Comerica. And so the Indians are chasing at the start of the day. 5.5 back in the Central. Still in the hunt for the wild card. White Sox, by the way, leading Kansas City. They've cooled off a little bit. The Royals have 5-1. That game's in the 5th. Here it's 2-1 Cleveland in the 9th. Now the 1-2 in the dirt, and that's going to advance Aviles. Wild pitch
by Aviles. As soon as he saw that ball in the dirt, he was going. Made it easily. Fifth wild pitch of the year for De La Rosa.
Making sure they're on the same page as far as the signs are concerned. We saw it earlier in the game that Jerome and Hank got crossed up. Important run at second base, trying to keep it a 1-run deficit. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Drew Stubbs, the right fielder's on deck. Now the 2-2. Tap foul. Breaking pitch, rolled to second. 1 out. Aviles advances to third.
And it ends up being a productive out for Chisenhall, and you're going to see that high fives from his dugout as he gets back in there. No, it's an out. It advances Aviles to third base with 1 out.
Halos will play their infield in. Billy Buckner's begin to loosen. Out in the Angels' pen. Called up before the game. There's Billy. Colin Cowgill sent out. And to make room on the 40-man roster, they transferred Robert Coelho to a 60-day DL. Stubbs 0 for 2. A couple of strikeouts and a walk.
Trying to catch to see if Cleveland might be putting a suicide squeeze on.
Stubbs, did he go round? No. Jerry Davis with the call at first. The Indians themselves have had issues with men in scoring position, as the Angels have in this series. One for 9 today, 1 for the last 17. One and one. So nobody on base. Dane's pace is incredible. Gets it, goes, throws strikes. Men on. Very, very deliberate.
Holds the ball extremely long.
Good fastball on the outside corner, 1-2.
Now an opportunity to be able to get a guy out who swings and misses quite often. And Drew Stubbs has already struck out twice in the game. Strikeout would be huge here for De La Rosa and the Angels.
116 punch outs for Stubbs. The 1-2. Almost overthrows that fastball. 2-2. $35,810 today. 4 o'clock start. Justin Masterson, 6 2/3, gave up a run. Jerome Williams, 6 1/3. He allowed 2 runs. Swisher, a 2-run home run in the 3rd inning. The Angels getting an RBI double off the bat of Hank Conger, the 6th. Breaking pitch in the dirt. Full count now. Michael Bourne, the leadoff man at center fielders on deck. Buckner ready to go in the pen. De La Rosa's thrown 18 pitches, 11 strikes.
We need this punch out right now for De La Rosa. Bourne, very difficult to double up. He's only grounded into 1 double play this entire season.
(3-2). Breaking pitch, and he walked him. So runners at the corners now. 1 out, Bourne coming up.
Always speed at the bases, speed at the plate.
Infield still playing in for the Angels. Trumbo will hold Stubbs over at first base. Very good speed for him. 14 stolen bases, has been caught once. Two-hit game for Bourne, a single and a triple. First one's in the dirt. It gets away from Conger. Here comes Avilos, and it's a 3-1 Indians lead. Stubbs ends up at second base.
Boy, second wild pitch of the inning. Boy, a breaking ball in the dirt, spins away from Hank Conger. Well, that big run, that extra run for Cleveland now. A little flare in the outfield, wild pitch, a ground ball to the right side. Now a wild pitch scores them.
1-1. Stubbs at second. 1 out walk to him. The 1-1 pitch. Bourne laid on the fastball, 1-2. Nick Swisher on deck. 3-1 Cleveland here in the ninth inning. The Angels will have Romine, Borges, and Shuck due up in the bottom of the ninth. Bourne hits one out to right field. That's going to fall in for a hit. Stubbs is going to be stopped at third. So runners at the corners as De La Rosa elevated that pitch. And Swisher will come to the plate.
Boy, a fastball up. Bourne got his hands through that baseball real well. Hit it in right field, hit it hard enough that Calhoun was able to charge it and keep Stubbs from scoring. So keeping that double play in order. Although you might see Michael Bourne going quickly here early in the count. 3-hit game for Bourne.
Mike Scioscia opted to keep De La Rosa in the game. The better option, at least in his opinion, to face Nick Swisher. Stubbs at third, Bourne at first. Still 1 out. Swisher, a home run back into third. It was a 2-run shot. 1 for 3 today. Picked up a walk in the 7th. Breaking pitch bounced over to Trumbo. Fires to second for one. Relay back to first in time. Inning-ending double play. We'll head to the bottom of the ninth inning. The Angels down 3-1. Angels Live post game presented by your SoCal Mazda dealers is coming up after the last out of the game. And hopefully it's with an Angels victory. Down 3-1. 8-9-1 coming up to face the closer. It's Chris Perez on an relief. 43rd game. 5-2 record, a 3.38 ERA. He pitched last night. Went 1 inning. 1 hit, 1 strikeout, 1 walk.
Fastball 91 to 95. Good hard slider also.
Andrew Romine, Peter Borges, and J.B. Shuck the scheduled 3 batters for the Angels. Loss today would extend the Angels' losing streak to 4 games. They will have an off day tomorrow. And then head up to Seattle tomorrow afternoon. Begin a 3-game set on Friday night. The Mariners, the Rays, and the Brewers. 3 different divisions.
Never seen Miller Park before.
Oh, it's nice. You'll like it. Enjoy it. The weather looks like it's going to be nice, so I wonder if they'll have it open. First one to Romine is cut on and missed. Andrew 1 for 2. A single in the second, a fly to left in the fourth, and a walk in the sixth. Pardon me, the seventh. Downstairs. Chris Perez, 42 and 2/3 innings, 30 hits, 37 hits, 38 punch outs. As Romine fouls this one off the left. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Romine goes down swinging on the hard breaking ball down and in. 1 down.
That hard slider that Perez has, not quite as firm with his fastball. Used to be up there in the upper 90s. Still pretty good fastball in the low to mid 90s, but his slider is effective.
Borges picked up his first hits as coming off the DL in the 7th inning. It was a bunt base hit up the first base line. Looks at a strike. Peter 1 for 3 today. Lays off the slider. And it evens up the count at 1-1. Six hits for the Angels today. Make that 7 hits for the Angels today. Borges, short compact stroke, picks up a 1-out single.
That's more like it. We talked about when you square around and get a bunt, all of a sudden you track the baseball better and improve that swing. Well, since that bunt hit, much better as far as through the baseball for Borges. 2nd hit in a row for him. Boy, not much of a stride, compact swing, ground ball up the middle for a base hit. His hips squared, shoulders square through the baseball, and hit well. Cam shows how well his balance maintained through his swing.
J.B. Shuck looks at a fastball for a strike. 0 for 3 game for him. Had a sacrifice bunt in the 7th. Lone run for the Angels back in the 6th inning. A single by Hamilton. Came home on the double by Congress. This one's foul. Back 0-2. Slider. This one looped into the seats on the 3rd base side.
J.B. was trying to flare that ball into left field. Perez staying away. Plays into the swing from J.B. Shock.
Oh, 2 again. Off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Eric Ibar on deck. He went around on the breaking ball, 2 down. Hard slider down and in.
That's why that pitch before that by Perez is so effective. An 0-2 fastball just off the corner. Now all of a sudden, if you're a hitter, you look away. It just missed. Or do you try to protect against something like this, a hard slider, but because of that pitch just missed the outside corner at 0-2, the commitment was there to try to swing at the very next pitch, and he couldn't hold off on that hard slider.
2 outs and a man at first, and here's Eric Ibar. 0 for 3 game. Borges takes off, and Ibar hits one out toward right field. Stubbs comes in, makes the catch, and the Angels drop game 3 by the final of 3-1. It completes the sweep by the Cleveland Indians.
Boy, the story of this game, Nick Swisher again. Home run, 2-run home run off Jerome Williams, who pitched very well himself, ended up taking the loss. Now 5-10 on the season. Chris Perez, the save number 20. Justin Masterson, very effective once again. 14-9 as Cleveland sweep the series 3-1. Well played, well pitched by the Cleveland Indians. Now stay tuned for Angels Live. Victor Rojas and Jose Moto will break it all down for you.